So welcome to today's class, and we are going to be focusing on cooling the fire. So for most of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's summer and the heat is building. So in Ayurvedic medicine, we talk about pitta is the fire dosha, the element of fire. Pitta has a little bit of water as well, which brings that oily quality. We can see that in our skin sometimes, of the oiliness in the skin that happens when there's increased heat. The fire element is connected to the organs of the liver, the small intestine. It's related to the blood, the skin, the eyes. So for today's practice, we're going to be working on cooling, calming, essentially chilling out. And this is so important because if we keep going in intensity, especially throughout the summer months, what happens, and you'll know this, right? If you have a campfire, what happens to the log? Over time, the fire is burning and the log dries out, right? And so throughout the summer, if we're building in heat and intensity, we get to the fall season, which is the dry season, and we've got excess heat and dryness, and that can lead us into a whole bunch of other vata problems, air and ether problems, because we're already dried out. So we've got this intensity of heat and dryness, and then we move into the dry season and it exacerbates. So we're working preventatively here. And this is what Ayurveda really teaches us through every step of the way is let's think ahead. Where are we going? What's coming up? And how can we really be in rhythm, be in balance with the elements? Otherwise, we're just at the whim of, life seems to be happening, the seasons seem to be changing, weather seems to be changing until we understand what's going on inside of us uniquely, and it is different for everybody. So if you have a lot of fire in your constitution originally, we can generalize this and say, those type A personalities, you're sharp, you're intense in some ways, you feel heated, perhaps that goes out of balance into impatience, frustration, anger, rage, imbalance, pitta. It's the part of you that is clear, articulate, a leader, bright. And remember, we all have all of the elements within us. So you're going to have some fire. Some of you have a lot of fire. Some of you, your fire has been dampened. Right? You've lost your mojo, you've lost your purpose, you've lost your connection to determination, to inspiration. So we're playing with the elements here. Let me just see what's been typed in the chat. Beautiful, welcome. Okay. Awesome. So let us start with a settling practice. I'm going to be teaching you a breathing practice today. It's a cooling practice. Some of you know it and don't practice it, which is okay, right? This happens. We know these practices, and sometimes we forget when to utilize them. So this is a reminder to replug you back into these simple yogic and Ayurvedic practices that you can do. I really, in my teaching, want you to learn things that you can take away and do on your own. So that is why you'll notice, if you stick with me, there's repetition in classes so that you know the tapping sequence for yourself, right? Some of those of you know now how to go through the tapping sequence on your own. I really believe that it's about empowering you to understand why we're doing what we're doing, and so that you'll hopefully do these things when required on your own. So let's start. Come into a comfortable sitting position. You can sit on a chair, you can sit on a cushion. Find a place where you can settle. Close your eyes. And be very conscientious about the placement of your hands. So you can place the palms facing down on your thighs or on your knees, depending how you're sitting. I'm just kneeling. You might be sitting cross-legged. Please find a place where you can be as easy as possible. So we're following the path of least resistance today, the path of ease and grace. And if your tendency is to push, to overachieve, to go, 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 I invite you into this time and space to soften, to relax, and to let go of any expectation from the class, from yourself. This is an exploration. This is an experience. There's no end goal here. You may receive great benefits, But that's not the purpose. So let this simply be a time to notice what's going on in your body, to feel, to become more attuned to the sensations of your body and to what your body is communicating to you. Any aches or pains, any symptoms. There's an intelligence, a wisdom of your body in its communication through these things. So as you settle into stillness, shift your focus to your breath. Simply breathing in and out through the nose, keeping the mouth gently closed. If it feels good for you, take the tip of your tongue and place the tip of your tongue where the roof of your mouth and your teeth meet. And with that mudra of the tongue, let your jaw relax. Pitta types can often clench quite tightly in the jaw, biting down on life and really trying hard. So let your face soften. All the little muscles in the face begin to melt down and relax. And then bring your focus to your eyes. Feel your eyes and behind the eyes. And soften the little muscles around your eyeballs. See if you can bring a sense of ease behind the closed lids and at the back of the eyes, right into the midbrain. Know that there's nothing that you have to get right here today or do well or be good at. Just allowing the breath to move in and out and start to slow the breathing down. And if the mind feels very active in this moment, as you inhale, mentally repeat to yourself, the breath is moving in. And with your exhalation, mentally repeat, the breath is moving out. And just stay with this subtle and very poignant activity of the inhalation, of the exhalation. And the beauty of how life does this for you. Before we were focusing on the breath, you were still breathing and there was nothing you had to think about for the breath to happen. So this is grace. This is the miracle of life that we're all living here today together. That life is sustaining us. Even when we're not paying attention, even when we're not putting in any effort. And in fact, today's class is about releasing the effort, stepping into a new way of being. Now shifting your focus from the breath into the space of your heart. Bring your palms together to touch in front of your heart, feeling this union of the right and left halves of the body, the right and left hemispheres of the brain, merging together, hand to hand. Feel the temperature of your hands. Feel the air touching the exposed skin of your body. And for Pitta, when we're in our fire element, when we're in that intensity, we can have the version of Pitta that is out of balance, that is aggressive, that is intense, that is so fiery they burn themselves and everyone else out. And we can have the version that is in balance, that is clear, that is intelligent, that is in their leadership. And the difference between the two is the heart. So if you've gone up into your head, you'll go out of balance. So I invite you to come into the heart space, into that place of playfulness, self-appreciation, compassion. And as we enter the class today, take a moment just to acknowledge yourself for showing up here, for being here, for carving out some time to move your body, to breathe mindfully. And we will chant the universal sound, this healing sound of Om 3 times. Imagine this sound coming in through the crown of your head, piercing right through the midbrain, through the throat, and into your heart to open up, to vibrate this space awake. We'll chant 3 times together. Inhale. And take a moment to set an intention for yourself, how you would like to feel by the end of our time together. And then rub your palms quite vigorously. So you're creating some heat in between your hands. This is a practice called palming, and this is really good for the eyes, for the nervous system, for both pitta and vata. So once you've got some heat, place the hands, block the light, and look out into the warm darkness of the palms. This is really good for your eyesight. Like I said, for your nervous system. The eyes are the only exposed part of our nervous system. So if we tire them, we're going to be straining the nervous system as well. So once that heat fades, do this again. Rub your palms quite vigorously. Get the heat going. And then place the hands again over the eyes. Look out. Receive the warmth, the softening, the ease. And then one last time. And once that heat has faded, you can slowly let the palms come down. All right. We're going to start with some eye exercises. Now, if you're wearing eyeglasses, you can remove those. If at any time there feels like there's a strain in doing these, especially if our eye muscles are weak, and we're just not used to doing eye exercises most of the time. So if you feel any sort of strain, just close your eyes, don't push through. We're gonna start with hands on the thighs, shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes for a moment. And then opening the eyes, and then look up. Take your eyes all the way up. And then over to the right, and then down towards the floor, over to the left, and then up to the ceiling again. And then close the eyes if that feels like, ooh, that's kind of intense. Might feel very easy for some of you. And then again, open the eyes, look up to the sky. This time we're going to go to the left, look over to the left side, and then down to the ground, and see if you can make the transition smooth. Tracking your eyes over to the right, and then all the way up to the ceiling, and then close the eyes for a moment. Relax, make sure you're breathing. We're going to do this one more time each direction. So opening the eyes, look up, smooth tracking over to the right, smooth tracking down towards the ground, over to the left, and up to the sky. Close the eyes for a second. When you're ready, opening the eyes, look up, over to the left, down to the ground, over to the right, and up to the sky. And then again, practicing palming, rub the palms. And block out the light, look out into the warm darkness. And when you're ready, you can open the eyes and extend your legs out, give them a little bit of a shake. So the pitta organs are liver, the spleen, the small intestine. So really this central part of the body. So with the yoga asanas, the postures that we'll be focusing on are things like twists, are things where we're massaging and focusing on the core part of the body here. Let's begin by placing your feet flat on the floor. Your hands can support you on the ground behind. Nice and wide stance through your feet so that your legs can just move from side to side. Feel your hips this morning, the difference between the right hip and the left. Bringing a little bit of movement into the lower back here. And allow your breath to be smooth and calm, and that steadiness guides you through the whole class. And then come back to neutral. Plant the feet parallel. Grab onto your shins or behind your thighs. Inhale, lift the heart. You can take the gaze up if you like, if that feels good. If not, keep it neutral. And then exhale, roll through the spine, round the spine, drop the chin. And inhale, lift the belly, the chest. And exhale, soften into a nice C curve through the spine. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale. Keep your jaw nice and easy, your face relaxed. Path of least resistance, nothing strained. And then coming to neutral, come back into a sitting position. Grow tall through your spine, tipping forward from the hips. Walk your hands forward. So if it's available to you, you can place a forearm on the ground. If not, just stay up high and you can turn your right hand in, whatever feels best. Take your left hand to the left thigh and inhale, press into the thigh slightly and feel a very gentle twist around to the side. Very subtle. And then inhale, come back to center, switching the hand or the forearm. Grow tall through your spine. First inhale. Take your right hand onto the top of the right thigh. And then exhale, gentle spiral. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, start to walk your hands forward and bow your head down to whatever degree feels good. And then walk your hands over to the right side. Exaggerate the reach of the left fingertips so they keep walking out, 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 drawing the left sitting bone back and down. And then wander your hands all the way over to the other side. Exaggerate the reach of the right fingertips out along the diagonal line. Draw your right sitting bone back and down. And then walk your hands back to center and toward your pelvis as you roll up. Hold your hands onto your ankles and inhale, lift the heart. The gaze can come up if that feels good. Exhale, rounding through the spine. The same movement through the spine, but you'll feel a slightly different activation. And then coming back to neutral, extend your legs out. Bring your hands behind you. Tuck your arms tight into your lower back for support. If you feel strong through your core, your hands can be on your thighs. It's up to you. Begin to point the toes towards the earth. And then as you exhale, flex at the ankle. So inhale, pointing the toes, and exhale, flexing. See if you can slow the movement down and imagine that you're working through tar or molasses so that there's an articulation through the metatarsal, that there's a opening up of the feet, the soles of the feet, the toes. And then pausing. Recross your leg, put your other leg in front, the one that you did not have opposite. And then inhale, grow tall through the spine. As you exhale, let your navel start to float over to the right. So you're letting your core take you into a twist instead of using your limbs. With each breath in, grow a little bit taller, and each breath out, exhale, feel the wringing out of the torso like you're wringing out a dish towel. Keep your face relaxed, your jaw easy. And as you come back through the center, grow tall. And as you exhale, again, let your core be what spirals you around. The exhalation can really emphasize the twist. So we're purifying the blood with every twist. We subtly block off the flow of blood to the organs. And then when we untwist, it allows a fresh flush of blood into these areas. So that pumps out, that helps to detoxify the body. And then inhale, come back to center. And exhale, extend your legs out, give them a little bit of a shake. And come onto the hands and the knees. If this is not okay for your wrists, you can make fists, or you can come onto your forearms. Find a place where you can be comfortable in your body, knees directly underneath the hips, wrists under the shoulders. As you inhale, feel the tail tipping towards the sky, the navel to the earth. Allow the heart and the gaze to rise. And as you exhale, initiate the tuck of the tail, lift the organs up into the spine and relax the head down. Continue at your own pace and see if you can slow it down, especially if you have the tendency to rush through your day or your life. Bringing consciousness into the body. Feeling each and every vertebra. And notice what parts of your back feel stuck or stiff, if there's anywhere that feels congested or rigid. And then come into a neutral spine or a flat back. From here, we'll work along the horizontal plane. So as you exhale, take your head sideways as though you're going to tap your head to your left hip. So your pelvis is scooting around to the side and your upper body is coming into a beautiful C curve. And then inhale, pass back through neutral and exhale to the other side. Inhale to the middle and exhale. So you're creating a C curve through the spine. Move slowly and mindfully. One more time each side. And then coming to center. Take your left toes back, tuck them under and press through the heel, stretching out the back of your leg. As you press out through the left heel, reach the crown of your head in the opposite direction. And then exchange for the other leg. Tuck the right toes under, press the right heel back, reach the crown of the head forward away from the right heel. And bringing your right knee back onto the floor. Inhale, float your right arm out to the side. Exhale, slide the back of the right hand through until you gently rest on your shoulder. Your left fingertips can support you here. Now, if you have any tension in your neck, if this does not feel good, then come out of the posture. Some other alternatives here for you are to take your left hand either onto your lower back, around the right thigh, or up to the sky. And you might even like to extend your left leg back, only if you feel really balanced here, and open the heart towards the ceiling. So make sure that you're breathing, whichever variation you choose. Nice, deep, full breaths into your shoulder blades. And then bringing the left hand back onto the floor if it's not already for support. Inhale, come back onto both hands. Pause for a moment. And we'll move to the second side. So inhale, float your left arm out. And then exhale, slide it all the way through. So you're more on your shoulder. There's a mild amount of weight on your head just because it's touching the floor, but the energy of the posture is moving back, not collapsing onto the neck. Place your right fingertips on the floor, on your lower back, on hooking around to your left thigh. Or if it feels good, extending your right leg back, opening the twist. So pitta types tend to be very competitive and judgmental. So if you find yourself competing with yourself or judging yourself, this is an opportunity to look at what's underneath that. What do you feel is lacking? What do you feel you need to be better at? And what if you were okay right now? What if you were whole and complete right now? Bring the right fingertips back onto the floor. Inhale, come back to the beginning position. Have your toes touching. Walk your knees open as wide as your mat and sit back into a wide leg child's pose. Breathing into the lower back. And then shift the weight of your pelvis forward. Tuck your toes under. See that your fingertips are at the edges, or sorry, the pinky finger at the edge of your mat. So you've got a nice wide stance with the arms. And send the weight of your body back and up. Your sitting bones rising towards the sky. And begin to pedal your feet. Stretching out the hamstrings. Saying hello to the metatarsals. So you're really working through the feet. Simultaneously connecting down through your hands. Use the contact points here. Then step your right foot in line with your nose, the middle of the mat. Inhale, float your left leg up. So working equal weight down through both of your hands. So the tendency is to drop your body weight into that left hand. See if you can bring a little bit more consistency of equal pressure through both sides. And then lowering the right leg down. Mindfully switching your feet. Inhale, float your left leg up. Keep equal pressure through your hands. Make sure that you're breathing smooth, calm, and steady breath. And then we're going to take the left leg and silently step it in between the hands. So smooth and easy transition to lower your right leg down, your right knee onto the floor. Place your hands on the front thigh. Feel the top of the pelvis underneath you, so you don't want to hang out in the lower back. If it feels too rough for your knee, then place a cushion under your knee. Lift your heart, relax your shoulders, and feel the weight of the pelvis shifting forward so that you can breathe openness into the hip. Lots of space here. Exhale, plant your hands at the top of your mat. Stepping into plank position. You can have your knees on or off the floor. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Roll your shoulders back and down. Gather your elbows close into your ribs here. Have your toenails, all 10 toenails, anchored onto the mat. Inhale, floating up into cobra. Exhale, lowering the heart down. Tuck your toes, Shift the pelvis back and up into downward facing dog. And again, you can pedal the feet if that feels good. Press up to the balls of the feet. Keep the pelvis high to make room for your right foot to silently step in between the hands. Lowering the left knee down and coming up into the lunge on the second side. Notice how this side feels different in the hip, the lower back. How is your breathing here? Lowering the fingertips onto the floor, you're going to step your back foot to meet the front foot. Forward fold, relax your head, bend your knees. And then inhale, come to halfway up. Your hands can be on your shins, they can be on the floor, but finding a place where your spine is elongated. And then exhale, soften over the legs, relax your head. Inhale again, halfway up. Exhale, release. One more time, halfway up, inhale. Exhale, relax over the legs. Walk your legs together so your ankles, your knees, and your thighs are touching. Lower your pelvis down. Bring your hands together. I'm going to take the left elbow across the right thigh. Inhale, grow a little bit tall through your spine. Draw your left sitting bone back and then opening your heart. If you would like to open your arms, you can do so. If not, just stay with the hands together or even up on your fingers. You can always look down to the ground. And then release, let your head relax. Give the head a little bit of a shake, nodding yes, little nod no. And then the second side, lower the pelvis down. Elongate through the spine. Take your right elbow across the left thigh. Right here, you'll feel the right pelvis shifting over. Draw the sitting bone back so you're in alignment. Elongate through your spine and open your heart. Look up, look straight ahead or look down, wherever it feels good for you. And then exhale, release. Again, nod the head yes. Let the head release. Nod the head no. And inhale, come to halfway up. And exhale, stepping back into plank position. Lowering all the way down to the ground. Roll your shoulders back and down so you can anchor the scapula. And then inhale, come to your degree. It does not have to be deep. And exhale, relax. Extend your arms straight out above you, parallel. Bring your chin or your forehead onto the floor. And as you inhale, lift your left arm and your right leg up, but think more about the reach out than the up. Feel the crown of your head extending away from your tailbone. And as you breathe out, lower the arm and the leg. Inhale, the second side, lifting the arm and the leg. Exhale to lower. And alternate. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, floating up nice and light. And exhale. Good. Stack your hands, turn your head to one side, and just shake, rock the pelvis from side to side, loosening the lower back. And gently turn your head in the other direction. And then bring your head to neutral, hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, and folding back into child's pose. If it feels good for you here, a variation is to clasp your hands together at your lower back. Float your arms up towards the sky, and then come up onto the crown of the head and lifting the organs up, lifting the spine and the arms upwards. If this does not feel good in your neck, then release, come out of anything that doesn't feel good. And then lowering all the way back down. Slowly and mindfully roll up through your spine till you find yourself in a kneeling position. Inhale, grow tall through your spine. And exhale, take your left hand over to the right thigh. Feel the spiral around. Your right hand can come behind you for support. Soften your shoulders. And see if you can really invite the breath into the back body. Lower back, back of the rib cage, back of the shoulders. And then inhale, float back through the center. Exhale in the other direction. And inhale back to center. Stepping up into a squat position. So if this does not feel okay for your knees or your hips, then either you can put a bolster under the sitting bones or a block. You can sit on the edge of a chair or come into any other comfortable position. The hands come together. On the inhalation, the spine elongates. You can take the gaze up. The exhale, imagine your whole spine softening, the front body relaxing, the knees pressing the upper arms together, and the head coming down. And then inhale, tractioning down. The tip of the coccyx roots down into the earth, the heart floats up, and exhale, soften your sternum, the front body relaxes. One more time, inhale. Exhale, surrendering, releasing, letting go. And then coming into neutral. So whether you're in the squat or not, you can do this next practice. We're working with the marma points. So there's 107 of these acupressure points on the body. So in Ayurvedic medicine, we use them. They're doorways into consciousness relating to different organs, to different points in our psycho-physical and emotional bodies. So you're going to take the middle fingers of your right and left hands. You press ever so gently, it's just the weight of a dime, right to the inner edge of the eyebrows on both sides. So again, you're not pressing hard, just very light touch. Very light touch. So on the right-hand side, this point is connected to the liver, and on the left-hand side to the spleen. So just breathing here, you can close your eyes. We're not pressing hard. You might even be able to feel a pulsation under the fingers, a communication from this energy point. Very light touch. And then slowly release the fingertips onto the floor. Tilt your sitting bones towards the sky. Bring your feet into a parallel stance. And take at least 5 breaths in and 5 breaths out to roll up to standing. Experience the journey of it. Notice your feet, where the body weight lands on the feet, what happens through the muscles and the bones as you unravel. What parts do you want to rush through? Just notice all of it. Beautiful. Yeah, take your time. There's absolutely no rush to come up. And then here we are in Tadasana, this mountain pose. Bring your feet right underneath your iliac crest, so the bony part of the pelvis here, the front. You want to have the feet underneath that, the heels slightly wider than the big toes, so that we're not having that duck stance, but we've got a nice parallel stance with the feet, a micro bend in the knees. Inhale, roll the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as you roll back and down, and continue. And then now same motion, but with the fingertips on the shoulders. So the elbows are coming forward, up and back as though they were going to touch behind your body. You can bring them together in the front if they will, making the largest circles possible. And then reversing the motion, inhale as the elbows come back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Notice your breathing. And the next time your elbows come out to the side, leaving them there. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. As you exhale, gentle spiral around to the right. Inhale through the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Tapping into the quality opposed to the superficial movement. Remembering your intention and how can you align your mental, emotional, physical bodies with your intention. And then coming to center, exhale, lower the hands down. Step your feet a little bit wider than your shoulders, but keeping them parallel. Place your right hand on the right hip. Inhale, float the left arm up, and then rotate the arm bones. So you're getting an inner arm bone rotation. Your shoulder blade can slide down the back. Come up and over to the side. Think more about the up than the over. So we're really lifting out of the pelvis. You can look down, straight ahead, or up. Breathe fully through the rib cage to the intercostal muscles on the side. Then inhale, float up to center. Exhale, slow transition of lowering the arm. It's all part of it. Can we be awake through all of the moments, even the seemingly boring moments of life or of our practice? Inhale, other arm floats up. Internal rotation of the arm bone. You're connecting the fingertips down through your navel center to the opposite foot. So there's a beautiful line of energy here. Coming up and over to the side. Again, think more about the up than the over. If there's any tension in your lower back, you've gone too far for you today. And inhale, floating up. Slow, steady release of the arm down. There's no rush. Notice the tingling, notice the heat or sensations, whatever you're experiencing. Relax your face and your jaw. And coming into a nice, easy floating of the arms. The elbows bend, tapping the kidneys in the back. Breathing through the movement. And then let that dissolve just in its own natural, organic way. And we'll come into our tapping at the sternum, stimulating the thymus gland. Let's tap up to the side of the neck today, into the shoulders. You can often hold a lot of responsibility here. And to the other side, right into where the shoulder and the neck meet. And we'll work the lung line, so that's all the way down to the thumb, cupping the hand. Other side. And then making a couple of fists, tapping the kidneys in the back space. And taking your knuckles into the glutes, into the buttocks, into the hips. And then we're going to tap down the outer leg lines and up the inner lines of the legs. And then finishing with a very, very gentle tap at the very crown. Just awakening this marma point called Adipati Marma at the crown. And then let's give a little massage just around the ears and the jaw. You can open your mouth. Massage this joint that gets worked so hard. We clench down on. All right, and then just shake out. And come to the top of your mat. Hands together at the heart. Inhale. Exhale, yield, soften, let everything melt. Inhalation, arms float up, nice and slow. Exhale, deepening at the hip crease, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, relax. Plant your hands, walking back into plank. Knees can be on or off the floor. Lowering all the way down. On your inhalation, coming into cobra. Shoulders stay down, away from the ears. Exhale, lower. Shift the weight back. You're deepening at the hip crease here. Right there, you fold, and then simply shift the weight back and up. Inhale, float your right leg up and back. Exhale, place the right foot in between your hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. If it feels unstable, of course, lower your knee down. Otherwise, sweep both arms behind you. Get your footing. Exhale, relax. Inhale, come all the way up. Shoulders stay down. Find your focal point with your eyes. Steady and easy. Lower your hands in front of your heart. And then continue to press into the ball of the back foot for stability. Elongate out through the crown of your head and bring your left fingertips onto the floor. So we're getting a nice, strong, long line through the body. And then opening your heart and your arm to the right. Exhale, lowering your hand down, stepping into downward facing dog. And then lowering your knees, child's pose, relax. And inhale, coming back into downward facing dog. Float your left leg up, slow and steady.
Placing your left foot in between the hands. Connect down through the ball of the back foot. Exhale, relax. Nice and easy here. Sweep your arms back. Wait for the inhalation to float you up. Your back knee can be on or off the floor, you decide. And then lowering the hands down to the heart. Keep pressing into the ball of the back foot to get your length. Right fingertips on the mat and opening up. You can look down for more grounding. Exhale, lower both hands down. And stepping back into downward facing dog. Lower the knees onto the mat, folding into child's pose. Make a couple of fists and stack your forehead onto the fists. Feeling the massage, the compression of the belly into the thighs. And relax into your hip creases. And surrendering into the stillness. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to be. And slowly start to scoot your heart forward, come down onto your belly. Take your left knee out at a right angle and walk your upper body over towards it. Stacking your hands and bringing your left knee towards the left elbow if that feels good. If not, find a place where you can be at ease here. This is a restorative practice. Close your eyes. And let the weight of your body relax into the earth. Feeling the support beneath you. Feeling the space around the body. And if the mind has wandered out of presence, come back to the breath is moving in, the breath is moving out. Just tracking the breath. Nice and easy. And then slow and steady. There's absolutely no rush. You're going to mindfully transition to the second side as though you're moving in slow motion. Take your time. There's so much to be learned in moving slowly, mindfully, and skillfully. And coming to the second side, notice how it feels different. In the hips, in the back, in your shoulders. And make any adjustments at all so that you can feel more comfortable. It doesn't have to be difficult. Then relax your eyes closed. And take a moment to acknowledge your liver. Thank you, liver, for all of the functions, 500 plus functions constantly. Thank you, spleen, connected to my immune system. Thank you, blood. Thank you, skin and eyes. Thank you, body, for working tirelessly. All of these functions all day long. Thank you. Thank you. May I commit to being friendlier to you. May I commit to acknowledging you, thanking you, being grateful for the service, for this beautiful vessel that I get to live in. May I commit to complaining less about what I don't like about my body. May I commit to blaming less my body. May I focus on what is working. May I focus on the beauty and grace and wisdom of this vessel. May I live in this vessel peacefully with gratitude and ease. Thank you, body. Thank you. Thank you. And slowly and mindfully inhale, coming back to neutral. Take all the time you need. And then make your way onto your back. Again, however seamlessly and slowly you can. Once you've come down onto your back, hug your knees in. Again, thank you, body. Rocking from side to side. We so often just take our body for granted until it's not doing something that we want it to do. So the more that we can bring in this practice of body appreciation throughout our day, make it a way of being, our body will be so much happier and it will actually function better for us. All right, lower your feet down, extend the left leg straight and fold your right knee in. Gather the right knee into the body. So here we're massaging the ascending colon. Let the pressure of the thigh come into the right side of the body. Keep hold of the right knee with the left hand. Extend the right arm out. Wait for your exhalation. As you exhale, take the knee across the body. Lift the left hip up. Scooch it back underneath yourself a little bit. And feel this expansive opening in your twist. Breathe into your lower back. Cross your shoulder. Find the most comfortable place for your head. You might just like to look at the ceiling. You might like to look towards the extended arm. And then inhale, slow transition back to center. Hug your right knee into your chest. And exhale, extend the right leg out. Fold the left knee in. Thank you, body. Thank you. This connection between the thigh and the left side of the torso, massaging the descending colon. So every posture is an act of self-love, particularly when we're conscious of the placement of our body. Keep hold of the left knee with the right hand. Extend the left arm out. Deep breath in. As you exhale, take the leg across the body. Lift the right side of the pelvis up and underneath yourself slightly. Wherever there may be holding or resistance or tension, take your loving awareness there. Just be in that place. Don't force anything open. We're not stretching in our yoga practice. We're simply creating space. We're creating space in our psyche. We're creating space in the physicality with the breath. And when we create space, the body naturally is willing to unravel. Take one more breath. And inhale, come back to center. Realign the pelvis. And bring your feet flat on the mat with the knees bent. And have your feet about mat width apart so your knees can rest and just touch each other. Place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Close your eyes here. And see if you can quiet enough in the mind to feel the literal beating of your heart. Return to your intention. How would you like to feel? And who do you have to be to feel that way? What kind of thoughts, beliefs, behaviors do you need to be in order to feel the way you want to feel? It's absolutely available to you. It's simply lining up your thoughts, your actions, your words with that vibration, with that energetic signature. So you're welcome to stay here in this constructive rest pose, or you can come into our traditional Shavasana position, either with something under the knees or not, with arms out to the sides, palms facing up, or if you prefer, hands on the belly or the heart. Just listen to your body and what feels right for you today. Close your eyes. Walk your shoulder blades down and out a little bit. So you've got a lot of space around your ears. And do the same thing with your legs. Just walk the thighs and the heels down and out slightly so that everything has its space. When you feel in alignment, when you feel like you're in a place that you can relax and commit to the stillness, then just pause. I give myself permission to relax. I give myself permission to open to the support that is beneath me and around me. I give myself permission to feel good here and now. I give myself permission to realize that I am okay, that all is well, that everything is okay in this moment. I give myself permission for the breath to come in and the breath to go out with ease and grace. I give myself permission to detach from any old, outdated thoughts and beliefs that keep me suffering, that keep me stuck, that keep me separate from my higher self. I give myself permission to dwell in compassion, to dwell in self-compassion and self-acceptance. I give myself permission to fully be me in all of my magnificence, beauty, grace, and glory. I am well, all is well. I give myself permission to be at peace.
Stay in your stillness and in your relaxation. And simply notice the state of your nervous system, state of your mental and emotional bodies. And slowly, slowly start to bring some movement. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. You can turn the head gently from one side to the other. You can sweep the arms overhead and clasp them together and stretch out tall, tall, tall. Reach, reach, reach. And then hug the knees into your chest. Give them a little squeeze in. Thank you, body. Thank you. And make your way onto your right side and eventually up into a sitting position for our final breathing practice and settling practice. Okay. So this cooling breathing practice is so good for any inflammation, any itis, colitis, tendinitis, any heated emotions, hot flashes, okay? We're going to either roll the tongue and inhale through the tongue. If you cannot roll your tongue, then you clench the teeth and draw the air in through the teeth. So very simply, we just inhale that way at the top of the inhalation. We close the mouth and we exhale slow, calm, and steady through the nose. Okay, we'll do this together. You can have the eyes closed and imagine literally that the air is like an icy, cool blue air coming in. All right, so breathe in and out normally. At the end of your next exhalation, clenching the teeth or sticking out the tongue. And then breathing out through the nose. Just that much. Continue at your own pace. Slowing it down to the best of your ability. Completing one more round. Once you've completed the practice, keep your eyes closed, your awareness internalized, and simply notice the effects. They may be very subtle, they may be very obvious. And then place one hand on your heart center, one hand on your belly. Feel the breath coming in and out of the body. And then I invite you to imagine that you're walking along a pathway in the woods. You see the sun coming through the trees. You see the brightness of the foliage and the greenery around you. You walk through a trail peacefully, feeling the earth beneath your feet, hearing the sounds of birds, the sounds of nature peacefully all around you. You keep walking through this trail until up ahead, you notice in the distance there's a waterfall. You finally come out of the woods to this waterfall. The water is pure and clean, bright. You can almost feel the energy coming off of the waterfall as healing and enlivening. Step over, walk over to the waterfall. And come under this waterfall and allow this cleansing, cooling, refreshing water to come over the head, over the body, to wash away any fatigue, any overwhelm or anxiety, to wash away any heated intensity or fear. Allow the healing energy of this waterfall to surround you. Imagine it moving through you. So all of your cells are bathed in this healing energy. Your organs get cleansed, the bones, the blood, a purification that is long overdue for your body to release what is no longer serving. Then the nervous system gets cleansed and restored, recalibrated to a rhythm that feels more natural to you. Allow yourself to receive this healing, cleansing energy. Breathing in this light. Thanking this water. Thanking Mother Nature. And when you feel ready, stepping out of the waterfall, back into the sunlight. Turn towards the sunlight with eyes closed. Feel this gentle warmth coming into your heart space, coming into your third eye center, bringing you a sense of groundedness, of calm, and of ease. Knowing you are worthy of the infinite energy from the universe, this healing energy from the universe. And may you take this benevolence, this compassion from nature back out into your day, back out into your life. And remember that you're always connected. You are never alone. Bring your hands together at the heart, feeling the connection of the right palm to the left. And we'll complete our session how we began with the universal healing sound of Om 3 times. Inhale to chant. Rubbing your palms together, feeling that warmth in between the palms, and then placing the hands over the eyes, relaxing the nervous system through this practice of palming. And once this heat is faded, you can slowly remove the hands, come back into the day. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your heart. So beautiful to share this practice with you. And I'm curious, how has this practice felt inside of your body-mind, inside your system today? How are you feeling now? You're welcome to type that into the chat. You're welcome to unmute yourself. Have you noticed a change from when you arrived to the class until now? Is there anything? It might be subtle, it might be quite noticeable. But I'm curious if through these practices, because it's alchemy, right? It's really the alchemy of the physical movement, but what's happening essentially is we're redirecting the flow of prana, of the energy within the physical body. Sandy's saying, very calm, beautiful. Great, Sandy, I'm glad to hear that. You've like come into a real state of calm. Enjoyed twisting. Yeah, lots of twists today, right? Lots of twists. And sometimes as we start to work kind of the issues in our tissues out, it can ignite things that lay dormant. So the liver, in Ayurvedic medicine, we talk about the liver storing our anger and frustration. So don't be alarmed if you're like, I'm feeling more irritated now. This was so annoying. So that's okay, right? If you're feeling some heat being released or brought up, it's all right. And in fact, it's beautiful that the heat has a pathway to move out of instead of us just shoving it back down. We do this subconsciously. It's not something that we're consciously trying to do, of course, because over time that distortion of energy. So if we're stuffing our anger down or our frustration down or irritation or impatience, if we're not consciously channeling that energy, it will create dis-ease because it's not our nature. It's not our natural way. So the liver is going to house not only, you know, it's got so many functions that it does in detoxifying. So there's not just that that's going on with the actual organ and energy center of the liver, but there's the emotional body that our physical body is having to work through. They're not separate. And often, I think we've been taught that we have emotions and we have a physical body, and somehow they're not related. They're absolutely 100% related. So our body is an expression of the subconscious mind, and our subconscious is going to be playing out old programs and old patterns. Okay, let's see. Marilyn says, feel very calm and peaceful, hard to leave that to type. Yes, I know it's a big ask for me to say, how are you feeling? Let's talk. And know that it's never required. So if you feel you just want to stay in that peaceful place, don't ever feel you have to type anything or engage in this dialogue after class. Patty says, was feeling very congested or sluggish through the body. Now things are moving again, feeling calm, connected. Was interesting to see pitta step up and go, okay, twist more, do more to let it settle. Beautiful. And Maria says, have felt very settled, unsettled and agitated today, feeling better now. Okay, great. And you know, there's no right or wrong way to, everyone's gonna have a different experience. We're coming in from a different place in a class, mentally, physically, emotionally. I know we're all in different time zones around the world right now. So however you met this class today is okay. And however you integrate the practices and teachings is perfect. So thank you, Sandy. Yes, you too. Have a great day.
Thank you, Melanie.
You're welcome.
It was very nice and cooling, and you feel connected.
Great, feeling connected. Beautiful. Great. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. And great to see you there, Ed. Welcome. Great to have you in class. So I look forward to seeing you all next Thursday. I'll be in touch with details of next Thursday's class, and much love. And I hope you're enjoying the 10-day challenge for those of you who are following along with that as well. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.